Hello. Oh my God, my hair is all over the place. Okay. Hello, everybody. How is everyone? Okay. My dog wants to say hi now. 1 second. I'm going to get him 1 second. Come on. Come on. He's stretching. Oh, hello there. Say hi to everybody. Say hi. Oh, you're so cute. Hello. He's happy today. So he has been on a um dry food only diet for about maybe like a month now. When was that? I don't remember. Anyway, I told you about it when I started putting him on a dry food only diet because he keeps on throwing up. So I put him on a diet, but I'm starting to introduce other types of food, but in small amounts. And he's been good. Like TMI. TMI coming warning. So his poop is solid now, super solid for like a week now. And I think what was happening was that because he's very picky when it comes to food, and I told you guys that he's like, he doesn't like eating the same type of food consecutively. So if I serve it to him lunch, he can't have it dinner and he can't have it the next day or in day after that. So he's so spoiled when it comes to food. So anyway, the thing is that it's okay if he has a wide variety of food that he likes eating. The thing is that he there's not a lot out there that he likes to eat. So I'm like constantly having to look for food for him to eat just as so there's more for me to rotate. So so that was the problem. And so because there's not a lot of food that he likes, then there's not a lot of food for me to rotate. So what was happening is that the only time that he would eat, because he's so picky, the only time that he would eat is when after playing. So after playing fetch, in the afternoon, that's when he will eat. And the tendency is for him to eat a lot. This is just my theory, but my tendency is for him to eat a lot. And that's not good for it's not good for us, it's not good for them. And so that's where I think the indigestion is actually coming from. And so because of what happened, I was forced to really just feed him dry food because I can't have him throwing up anymore. And I think that sort of fixed his eating habits. Because now in the afternoon, like when I'm having lunch, he would also have lunch, but he would only eat in small amounts. I mean, just enough, I guess. When he's full, he stops eating. Um, because I guess in the first 2 days when I was serving him dry food, he really wouldn't eat it because he's very picky. But I guess it came to a point where he was just so hungry that he didn't really have a choice but to start eating it. And so he would eat now twice a day in the morning or afternoon or midday and then evening. And I think that sort of like regulated his diet, which ended up being better for him because now he's not throwing up, his poop is okay. So I'm reintroducing like other types of food. And I'm also giving him pumpkin puree before a meal. And that I think is good for him. So far, so good. Like this afternoon, every other day or every 2 days, I would feed him something other than dry food. Like 2 days ago, my mom steamed some or boiled some chicken, nothing in it, just chicken. Of course, he enjoyed that. But I gave him just small amount of it because I was still testing his tummy. And then this afternoon, I gave him some of his like the patty, chicken and beef patty. It's supposed to be raw food, but he doesn't like raw, so I had to steam it, not steam it, but roast it, and he enjoyed that. So I think he's doing good now. That's my debak update for you guys. So he is doing good, right? Good boy, good boy. So now he can have one treat a day. Just one treat. Because he used to also be spoiled with treats. My mom would give him two in the afternoon and morning, and then I'd give him two in the afternoon. Now he's only getting them once every other day. And that's making him enjoy it more. So good. Okay. Hi, everybody. That was a long rant. I just wanted to give you an update. I know you guys are worried about him, but he's finally getting better, right? Okay. You want to just lie down, baby? Okay. All right. Thank you. Yes, he's doing good. He is going to start getting back his treats privileges, but only once a day or once every 2 days. Okay. So glad little Debak is feeling better. I know adding white rice can solidify dog poop. Oh, okay. I'm going to try that. Okay. White rice. Okay. I'll try it. White rice. Okay. Um, Glad. Yeah, I know, right? It's just really trial and error. So I guess I partly it's my fault because I kind of just spoiled him with food. Like I just gave in to whatever he wanted. And the vet actually warned me about it even when he was young. He was like, you're gonna have to learn how to regulate his food because it's not gonna be good for him. He yeah. He's right. So it ended up being bad for him. But I guess too late. Late is better than never. So um okay. BTS. Yeah. Okay, let me say hi to everybody. Kathleen. Wait. ah, Okay, Kathleen, Shelling, Just Miko, CDV, M. Weebles, Fire Butterfly, Arlene, BTS 7 plus 1, Beethoven, Carol Faye, Leah, Cindy Wards, Shelling, Maritz, Amy, A. Brown, Lisa Parker, Lindsay, Rani, BTS Army, Lachi, OSP, Reg Bear, Letitia, Azurella, PZ48128, MLB, BTS Onitopia, Pia, Nancy, Bang Luna, Nigma Price, Nancy, Amy, Becca from Cali with Love, iCarmi, Cindy Celeste, Michelle Santiago, Santiago. Dodger Girl is on Twitch. Arlene, Emily Tendler, Aspen, Alta 444, Lindsay, BTS 7 plus 1, Taryn, A Brown, Kathy Swamp, Angel Star, Gemini, MLB, Reg Bear. I think I said, oh, Hanako Grace. Orchid, Fire Butterfly is also on Twitch. Share Your Love, Leah Warburton, Alta 4444, Beethoven, Fire Butterfly, Abram, Gold W. and James, Michelle Maybell, Helene, Dodger Girl, Fire Butterfly, Cindy, Becky, Lorena, Seven Purple Pearls, Borowinkle, um, Jolie, Janek, Lorena, Share Your Love, Mina, Seda, Salma, Cindy, Shelling, GDZ, Azarea, Seda, Mandy, Potential, Sinri, Regberry, Andy, Big Night, Angel Star, HHK, okay, I think I said hi. Wildflower, E Family Media, Crystal, okay, Jay Cabrera, A Brown, Dodger Girl, Lara Biatch. Okay, that's her name. Neil Vanille, Michelle Maibel, Miko, Curious, Harlow, Sinri, okay, Jedi Dar, okay, Reg Bear. Hi, everybody. I think I said hi to everybody already. It's been a colorful week, colorful, and of course, I got a lot of questions from you guys as a response to the initial concert planning that we did. Not really concert planning, but kind of like a guide. So I'm going to answer some more of your questions. A lot of them are like really dealing with details. So I'll answer those questions. But just as an announcement, so I opened a Discord channel for like an extension of Patreon. Patreon will still be the home. So if there's like major things that I'm going to be posting, it will still be in Patreon. But as you know, in Patreon, there's very limited channels that you can do. I think I'm limited to like 10 or something. So since we are planning to do like per state or per city kind of chat channels to make it easier to coordinate with people, Fire Butterfly, thank you for your next self pamper moment. Thank you, Fire Butterfly. Thank you. He looked, he was like, "Oh, am I supposed to pamper myself?" Thank you. So yeah, for that purpose I decided to open um Discord. So the link to the Discord channel right now is, well, I guess it's open to everybody, but the link will only be visible to the paying members of Patreon community because we're still testing it. So I kind of want to make sure that everybody who's going to join us there is like, the ones that are invested in the community. And also, I don't want haters to go in there and just start being toxic. So for Mama, not for Debak, since Mama Fairlene takes such care for us. It's not for you, she said. She said he does not believe you. Thank you. um so for grandchildren. Okay, join us there for those that are in Patreon, the paying members of Patreon, because we're just starting. So I kind of want to keep it within the community first, so that we can just like test what it is that we can do, cannot do. But for now, what we have there are channels for each of the state and each country. Not really, no, sorry, not each of the state, but West Coast and East Coast for the US, and then for Europe, Asia, and Africa, I think. So for now we'll go per country, and then once we have the dates, then I'll create chat channels for each of the stop. So for those that are asking like why can't we do like Middle East or whatever, that goes to Asia first. And then once the dates are in, which is going to be on the 14th, I believe, is when they're going to be releasing the initial set of dates, then we'll create the sub channels. So for now, let's do it that way. So sad you have to take measures to keep their, I know, but we do have, there's a lot just based on the amount of hate emails and threats that I get. I realized that there are people who actually tune into this live stream and they're actually in Patreon just so they can spy and say something and use something, hoping that we'll say or screen cap something, that whatever. So if you would remember, we have way more channels before that was free. And because of that, I had to lock many of the channels just for paying members because there's just way too many people that are lurking, spreading hate, toxicity, and whatever. So unfortunately, that's just something that I don't want to do it because I kind of like sure I provide a lot of value, or I try to provide a lot of value for those that are paying, but I also want to, I understand that not a lot. There are a lot of people who just don't have, the financial capacity right now. They're just down on their luck, but would like to join the community. But what can I do, right? If they keep on doing that. So unfortunately, I have to keep it that way. But so we only have one channel that's kind of open for everybody, and then the rest I had to lock out just because I need to keep them out. Um, who knew you had so much power? I know, right? It's like it's not like I have a lot. I have like a million followers on YouTube. I don't know where these people are coming from. I guess they don't have enough things to do in their life that they're just looking for somebody to hate. But yeah, do you want more Patreon members to join Discord? Will that help? Yeah, if you can, because that gives us a chance to really test the more things you do there, the better for us, because then we're really able to like really maximize what we can do and realize, if it's something that we can use an extension as a real extension of the community. Because I'm thinking that, so I believe this tour is going to go on for a year at least. It might go on until 2027. um just if I do like a Sherlock, if I Sherlock Holmes this guy, I think it's gonna go for a year with the amount of stops that they're gonna be doing. There's a huge possibility it's gonna go on until 2027. So I have a hard time keeping up with the general chat there in Discord, you mean? Is if it is the 14th in Korea, it's the 13th for the US, correct? Yes, yeah. It is the 13th for the US. So I think it is for, I believe, I'm not quite sure, but it is 15th midnight? Was it? No, 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 no. No, so for the anyway, I don't want to say, I might say something wrong. Okay, where are these test rooms on Discord? Right now, so the link to the Discord channel is only visible to the paying members. Once you are in Discord, all channels are open. You can just join the channels. For now, everything is open. Um, and then once the the dates are in, and then once people have kind of a good idea where they are going, I'm we are gonna start locking the chat channels per venue, not per venue, but per state. In that way, because people, based on the Jin and J Hope concert, people that are joining this, that are watching in the same state or venue, they kind of do activities together as well. So there's a lot of planning and coordination that happens. And so what I will do is ask for volunteers who would like to be an admin of that chat channel, so that if anybody wants to join, it doesn't, not everything has to go through me. I can't. I'm just one person. So then at least the admin can actually double check, like, this is legit, this person actually belongs to this channel. Because we also don't want people who's not going there anyway to join the conversation, because it's just going to be chaotic. That's, at least that's one of the things that we learned in WhatsApp, that it's better if we contain the channel to the people that are actually going to join that that place, that state. And then one or two admins I think will do. Having more than two, I think, is kind of chaotic. So having just two would be better. So I would need volunteers who would like to be an admin for that channel. Now, if of course, if you're going to be watching, is there a fee for Discord? No. If you're a paying member of, for now, if you're a paying member of um Patreon, then you will find the link to Discord, and that is free. And then Fire Butterfly, North Carolina. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'll definitely. So if you're joining if you're going to be watching in more than one state or more than one country, then you're free to join all the countries that you're going to be going to. But if you're not going to that state or that country, then I suggest just don't go, because it's don't join the channel, because it's just going to be more chaotic. There's a lot of coordination. Like, in the J Hope and Jin, there were a lot of coordination, just like, people going to visit a place together and whatever. It's better if it's just their group that's in that channel. So that's what we're going to be doing. Um, so join there for so if you're a paying member of Patreon, go there in Patreon. You'll find the link to the Discord channel, and you can go to Discord and join us there. So just test, like, whatever you see there, just see what you can do and not do. We also have a spoiler channel there because some people are saying that, some people actually like getting spoilers, some people don't like getting spoilers. It's like a spoiler and rumor kind of kind of channel. So okay. The EST conversion is 10 a.m. January 13, which is what she said. So January 13, 10 a.m. January 13. Can people who is not a part of Patreon join the Discord? Not yet. Eventually you can, because we're still testing. We're still testing if you are you if you are a member of YouTube, even if you're not a Patreon member, then yes, you can join the Discord. But for now, we're still testing, so not yet. Where in Patreon is the link? Search for Discord. It's its own post. I posted like the Discord channel. If you click that, you'll find the link and you can join. Okay. Yes, it's January 13th typo. Okay, thank you. You're welcome, Angry Unicorn. Okay, I hope I can go to a concert, but depends on cost and location. If I can, which channel will we use earlier? Thought it loud enough. Thought it loud enough. I thought I had. Um. Okay. What? Which channel will we use just to chat with those who can go if we can't go? Um. We have a ticketing channel. So we have ticketing and streaming guide channel. You can go there because that's where most of the conversations about the concerts and buying tickets and all of those stuff will be. So go there. So another thing that we will do in Discord is just for those. Okay, so I encourage people who have the financial capability to buy more than the number of tickets that they are going to need. So, for example, if you only need two, but you can financially buy four so that you can, for those that won't be able to buy within our community, can buy it from you. Now, you also have to think about just the off chance that it might not sell. That is why I'm saying only if you have the absolute financial capability to buy extra tickets, then buy. And we'll coordinate it in Discord because I would like people who are willing to buy to list their names so that we kind of know who to offer it to. Of course, nobody's going to be obligated or whatever, but we'll coordinate all of that in a channel so that it's not, and those channels will be temporary. Like, for example, once we have the ticket exchange, once the ticketing is done, we'll take down that channel so that nobody else it's not used anymore. So it's used for that specific purpose only. Okay, questions? Do you want to start with something negative so that we can get it out of the way and then end with the fun ones? Um, do you have any more questions before I start? We have some of the okay, so you guys also sent me some questions about which trend to join, a lot of armies are trending stuff on X, Facebook, TikTok. Like, how do you know if this is a good trend to join? How do you yourself help in marketing? The other is this is the negative thing. We're going to be talking about the court cases. And then, will there be a ticket sales for the suites this round as well? Sorry if it had been discussed. Yes, so there are several people. We sent out questionnaires on Patreon to all the members in Patreon. We sent out questionnaires, and there are some people who said that they want to have their own suite and then have people join their suite. So we're going to be coordinating that as well. However, do remember that we don't have the final I called some of the suites to ask for how much it's gonna go and their estimate. And so some of them actually gave me the prices, and I talked about that in the previous live streams. But we will not know the price until the day of, right? So we will have to check still first. We're going to have to give those people a chance to check and see how much the suites are going to go for, and then they'll determine if they have the financial fortitude to actually commit to something like that. It's not a joke. So for an arena, for you to get a suite, for most of them, you do need to pay a down payment. I think it's like 500, anywhere between 500 to 1500. It is refundable, but still, for you to get charged that much in your credit card, of course, that's something, right? But still kind of manageable for a lot of people. But for the bigger suites, for the stadiums, it can go up to 5,000 deposit. That's a lot, right? So, and then some of them won't be refundable, especially because this is BTS. They know the demand. So, we're kind of like, if we don't know if people can actually afford that. So we're going to have to wait. But the answer to your question is yes. There will be coordination in Discord and Patreon when it comes to sweets. Okay. Is my mom going? Yes, she's coming with me. Wherever I'm going, she's coming. Yes, negative and positive, please. Okay. So, and then we're going to be talking about the ticketing and tips on ticketing and stuff like that. So let's talk about the negatives first. Um, all right. So there are two major. Do you want to go down, baby? Okay. All right. Just say hi. Say bye bye first. Say bye bye. He doesn't want to. He's pissed. He's like, you keep on talking. I want to rest. Okay. Say bye bye. Bye bye. Bye 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 bye. Okay. Yeah. Okay, Angry Unicorn. You can still join Patreon. We have a free tier. You will at least see one channel. Just one channel for now. It used to be many. I'm so sorry, but there was just way too many people that were there. And the thing is that it would be okay if these people that are disturbing us is just disturbing me. If they're just like, if you're just trying to target me, I can take it. But some of them would actually post some like stuff on the channel. So I'm like, nah, if it's just me, I'll let you be. But other people are also getting affected. So Debak doesn't like the negative stories. He does not like the negative stories, correct? That is true. Okay, let's talk about the negative stuff first. And I talked about it at least from an editorial perspective. I talked about this in my video this morning. The police is basically kind of iffy about requesting for a warrant of arrest in relation to Bang Shiyuk in his case. Because they are scared that if the prosecutors or the judge rejects the warrant of arrest, then they are going to get a backlash. And that is their exact terminologies. That's what they said. They said that they don't want the backlash if the warrant of arrest actually gets rejected, which is very inappropriate thing to say from from your police. I mean, I don't know why they're getting away with it. Number one, you're just supposed to do your job, right? So if you did your job, um you do your job to the best of your ability. You follow the law, you follow the regulations, especially if you're the police. You make sure that you follow the regulations, you follow the law, and then you leave it to somebody else to do their own job. So once you request the warrant of arrest, that's out of your hand. You leave it to them to decide. For you, you did your job. So why are you being concerned about the backlash? I I honestly feel that they are kind of realizing that they have a weak case. This has been going on for 2 years. They've been investigating him for 2 years. They are at this stage. They've done 13-hour police questioning. They've done 12-hour police questioning. They've done 8-hour police questioning. And then there are two more. One is 14 hours and another 13 hours. That five questioning for 2 years. You've raided the person's office twice. You've raided the person's house twice. And you're still saying that you're not confident your case is going to be approved by the prosecutor's office or by the court. There is something amiss. That's one. Second is that you're supposed to look for the truth. That is what you are. If you're the police, you look for the truth. That is not the goal that they set for themselves. Their goal is to get him. And that is that they're not even hiding it. They're already saying you know, we're concerned about the backlash because we want the warrant of arrest. When in fact you're supposed to say, we've done our best. I think we know for sure we have a solid case, but whatever happens, that's out of our hands. So I am so surprised that they are getting away with this. I really am. If you do this here, if the police does this here, uh, you can expect lawsuits coming your way because you're not supposed to be concerned about n- something that is out of your hand. You're supposed to do your job, um, make sure that you cover all of your bases, and then give it to somebody else to do their job. Anyway, uh, so they said that their warrant of arrest has already been rejected before, I believe, like last year, I think it was already rejected. And so after that, they kept on it, they kept going. And so I think that's where the anxiety is actually coming from. They're nervous after all the rejections and after all the fanfare, after all the media play. Whenever they need to feed the media something, they would bring up this issue. So if they don't succeed, so yeah, it'll be there will be backlash. But there shouldn't be if they did their job, right? Um, okay, so we don't know what's going to happen. We know that another thing that's kind of looming over their head is the exposure of Min Heejin's text messages. So we know this is one of the text message that was accepted by the court. That here she actually said that we're gonna have to make sure that they get investigated or that they hit the headlines. They don't. She doesn't even care um, if they actually get investigated, but that it has to hit the headlines because she knows that once people hear about something like that, the public is just going to go to town on that one. And when she was right, and she's right, by the way, she's right. So this, in addition to the police report that she got, the 200-page police report, which she shouldn't have gotten, it's kind of raising questions about what is this really about? Were you coaxed into investigating this guy simply because there's fanfare? Um, because Hani went to the National Assembly, and for a moment there, they were the darling of South Korea. People's opinion of them was it was so good that you thought that doing this would also put you in the right side of public opinion. So that adds up to this entire this entire mess that they've gotten themselves into. Okay. Um, and then uh, the other thing is that way back in since October of 2025, actually September of 2025, they've already been saying that the investigation is nearing its completion. So all the way since September, it's already January. How long is this home stretch? Like this is the longest home stretch I've ever gone I've ever experienced. So so there's something amiss in that entire thing. Now, as the strange thing is that as the investigation goes on, There are some things just that I am noticing. Number one is that it is kind of the case is obviously a fanfare for them. They're doing it because it's high profile. It's Bang Shiyuk. He is the guy that put together the most successful boy band in recent history, right? Certainly the most successful group in recent history. And this is the group that put South Korea in mainstream map. So he is a big fish for them. Getting him would have really put the name of South Korean police in the headlines. So, but as things wear on, people are also starting to lose interest, primarily because it's really not in people's nature to keep on something this long if it doesn't directly involve them. And for several, how long has he been in South Korea? I don't know, like half a year or almost a year. Um, there, there is there are a lot of things that have been happening in Hybe. It's going on, it's business as usual. So they've restructured Hybe America. They opened the Global Label Service Department, the GLS. And you have Isaac Lee as the new CEO of that. You have Ryan No, who's taking care of the marketing. And then other things have happened. Other groups under Hybe Korea, have made waves in the US. You have Le Seraphim becoming the very first girl group in South Korean history to perform in the Rocky New Year's Eve. You have the record breaking tour of Enhypen and also TXT, and of course, Le Seraphim as well. And you have Cat's Eye, who's actually now a two-time Grammy nominated act. Can you believe that? Two-time Grammy nominated act. Now they share the glory, of course, with Geffen because this is a collaboration between Hybe America and Geffen. But the point is that since he left, but it is still half is Hybe America. And certainly the what happened is that the creative side, the production side is actually on Hybe America, and the distribution labeling part, that's on Geffen. But the production, the creatives, that's all Cat's Eye. That is why, if you would remember, Cat's Eye actually mentioned Bang Shiyuk in many of their speeches. It's because they coordinate directly with Hybe America when it comes to their creatives. So, in other words, and then you of course have BTS. They are returning very very soon, and they're already dominating the headlines. On the day that I think January, no, December 31, they amassed about 1.7 million tweets. That was the day when the postcard was first posted on X, and so in less than 6 hours, I think it was like 1.7 million tweets. And to think it was just like a handful of people who got the postcard. And so um there's just there seems whatever's happening with Bang Shiyuk, it isn't affecting Hybe Korea, Hybe America, Hybe anywhere. It's not affecting them. So the because of that, and then there is also an obvious recalibration on who the face of Hybe America is, because it used to be him, but it has transitioned. It has now become Isaac Lee, Ryan No, Lee Sang, who's now a professional member of the Grammy. And then the PR team is actually doing a great job in highlighting the artists in the same way Western artists get highlighted. So in the US, I'm sure you all know this. For example, when we talk about Taylor Swift or Beyonce or Kendrick Lamar or even Eminem or whoever, we don't really care who the president of their label is. Many times we're not even aware who their label is. We just know the singer, right? We just know their songs and whatever. We don't care who their publicist is. So all of this consciousness is just really more a South Korean culture than it is Western culture. So when these people come into the US, we don't really care about them. We don't care about Bang Shiyu, quite honestly. It's like like I just am interested in how he does business, but in terms of creatives, I just look into the artist, not him. And so as so there's an initial interest because that is the sort of culture that got carried on a little when it comes to Korean artists going into America, because many Koreans mention the label. Then Western media would also constantly mention the labels and the CEOs. But because the PR companies are doing a great job sort of refocusing on the artists rather than the executives, and then as this case drags on, the interest is kind of waning off as well. It's like, we're just interested in the music. We're not really interested in what's happening. Like he can go to, like, a lot of executives in the US, they go to jail. We don't care. They go out and they come back and we're not even aware. So a lot of lawsuits happen in the US. We don't care. Um, Many executives like Universal Music CEO, past and present, Colombia, they get into legal trouble all the time. We don't really care. And so the West is kind of reverting back to it, like they're losing interest in this case. It's been so long. Um, many media would actually just write about it because it trends. So they're kind of, okay, we get clicks. Okay, let's go. Let's write about it. So what the police wants, which is the attention, they're losing it primarily because they dragged it on too long. Had they made this fast, came to the conclusion quick, they would have gotten more from it. But now that it has dragged on and the attention is now back to BTS because of their return, whatever it is that they are hoping to get, they probably will not get it anymore. Most likely, by the time that this gets forwarded to the prosecution, we're so deep into the comeback of BTS, nobody's going to pay attention. Um, Even this news, when it hit social media, it didn't get a lot of friction as it did before. So I think they're just I don't know what the outcome is, but if their goal was to get the attention, I don't think they're going to get it. They might get it from the haters of Hybe, but I think on the Western end, um, and certainly from the supporters of BTS, we're going to be so deep into the comeback that it's just nobody's going to be interested anymore. They really have miscalculated their timeline. They thought that they could drag it for a really long time so that they can stay in the headlines longer, but it's just doing the exact opposite. So I don't know. Let's see what's going to happen. But the good thing is that, as I've said, Bang Shiyuk built a business that runs on its own. Now it operates on its own. It's growing. It's progressing. Um, so that is what a founder actually does. You build a business that can transcend you. And if you make your business so reliant on you, that is not a good foundation for a business. What you do as a founder, you don't even, if you're the CEO and if you're the founder, you're not even supposed to be dealing with day to day. And he doesn't. Bang Shiok doesn't because he's the chairman. Your concern is to grow, to evolve the company, to stay ahead of the competition, and then you allow the day to day to somebody else. You just delegate that to somebody else. That's why it's so important to get people that are capable. And he seemed to have found them. Like Ryan is doing a good job. Isaac Lee is doing a good job. Yi Sang is actually doing a fantastic job as a CEO of Hybe. So Hybe is now running independently away from him. So he was able to build a business that transcended him, that is transcending him. So I think it doesn't matter what the outcome of this case is. It is immaterial to the careers of the group, especially in the West. Nobody's gonna care. Um, so no matter. So if you would remember, for there's just this is just an example. The founders of Google, um, they actually, when they sold the company, when they got their very first large funding, they chose to get a Sergey Brin and Larry Page. This two, the two young guys, are the founders. So they decided that they were going to step back from the day to day and allow Eric Smith. So he became the CEO, and he was the CEO for a really long time. The growth of Google is actually thanks to him. But the two founding members, they decided their strength is in marketing, it is in coding, it is in engineering, it is in technology. So they chose to concentrate on that and allow somebody else to run the company. And look at where Google is. So that's a good founder. And that's exactly what Bang Shiyuk is doing. Now, him making mistakes, that's inevitable because that's just what happens to a growing company. There is what we fail a lot. I mean, a growing company fails a lot. That happens all the time. There is what we call the organizational life cycle. It actually goes on for 7 years. So your 7 years of growth, a lot of almost all the types of problems you will encounter in the first or in the 7 years of growth. If you survive that, the rest will be okay. It's not going to be very, very smooth, but it's going to be okay. So that's when you go infancy, you grow adolescence, your prime, reach stability, and then aristocracy, and then you decline. That's your 7 year cycle. So the mere fact that Bang Shiyuk has had very little failures, it's actually fantastic because usually, even Google to this day, for all their greatness, look at how many products they launch, they test, they launch, and how many end up staying. Look at their portfolio, how many companies they have. How, I don't know, like 30 maybe. Let's just say, let's assume they have 30 companies that are running and are profitable for them right now. But on a yearly basis, they would launch and test 20, 30, 40 products, sometimes 500 products. And then the rest are going to go away. They're going to stick with one. So there are more failures. In a big company, there are more failures than there are successes. The mere fact that Hybe isn't actually having a lot of failures is just fantastic. It's just like, what I don't know what kind of business acumen you have for not having that many kind of failures. I mean, how many groups do they have that aren't really thriving, right? I mean, who's the worst performer of all? It's still not the worst in the industry. The investments that they are making, I would remember one and I wouldn't consider it a total failure. I'll say that they just did it way earlier, and that is their venture into the metaverse. But they're coming back into it. If you would remember, they tried the metaverse for like a year and then stepped back, and they admitted the market is not ready for it. And then they started coming back into it with the Enhypen concert, the Enhypen concert cinema experience that is the metaverse. So you go to the cinema and you wear the glasses, and you kind of are in the concert instead of just watching it in on your screen. So the other failure would be Min Heejin, and I would say that's the biggest one that he has had. He hired the wrong person. So the this cycle, the thing that they're going through, isn't at all the worst. It's just a natural growth. It's just a natural pattern for growth. But he had the presence of mind to actually make sure that the company runs without him, and I think that's why he said that he um extended his stay in the US because he wanted to stabilize the company first before coming back, because I think he kind of knew that this was going to drag on, and he wanted to make sure that that Hive America is going to operate just fine, and it's doing that. So yeah. Let's see what's going to happen. But I think, just my personal opinion, I think regardless of what happens, it's not going to have a lot of effect in Hive America. Um, and as I've always said, you can always move your operation here. Okay, questions before I move on to the next. There's probably a lot of power players and Chebos that is aggravated with Bang Shiyuk right now, hence the circus they keep involving him in. At this point, their efforts are laughable. Yeah. But I mean, from a business perspective, regardless of what's going to what happens to him with the case and whatever, from business perspective, it is a good study. The it is now. I mean, Hybe is now the fourth biggest global music label in the world. Imagine that, coming from, he was millions deep in debt back in 2014, 2015, and now he founded a company that has become the fourth biggest global label in the world. And it's not like the third is very far from him. It's far, but it's not that. It's not like impossible to reach kind of far. So there's something there. The way that he made the decisions, there's something worth studying. There's something worth studying. He seems to be. He loves risks. It seems to me that he loves risks, because you can't succeed if you're not taking risks. So, but he's taking more more good risks than bad risks. Um, Mr. Beast should make sure to step carefully. Hype doesn't play on legal field. Um, yeah. So there are. So okay. So let's move on to the next topic. So there are several new accounts on different social media: Facebook, X, I believe Threads. Many of them are posing to be like a reliable news source, but they are not. And they're getting a lot of attention because the positioning, if you look at their profile, it looks very professional. Their positioning is very professional. The way that they word their tweets and posts, they sound very professional. But many of them are actually run by known supporters of Min Heejin. There's one, the account that started this Ithaca purchase talk, who's the account that's rehashing this Ithaca discussion, is actually run by a bunny, a talkie. So, I'm not in the business of encouraging people to g- go after them. So I'm just going to post them on Patreon so that you can check them out. And then if you feel that they're iffy, you can just block them. So remember, it is report, mute, and then block. Ignoring them is not enough. So remember, report, mute, and block. So I'll put the names of those accounts in Patreon. Check them out, and then if you feel that, yeah, this is a little too iffy, then you can block them. Um, but yeah, so this account actually rehashed the conversation about Ithaca, which is kind of funny because at this stage, I think we kind of know that it was a good investment. I know that there's a lot of opinion about Scooter Braun. I really never cared about that. He's just as good or just as evil as the next executive in Hollywood, as far as I know. I don't know him personally, but we've got Cat's Eye. We've got many of these promotions that are happening, the world tours of the different groups, the headways, and the opportunities that they're making. So, 5 years after, you're rehashing this talk when the successes are so evident. So, um, but that's one of the accounts that you should be careful of. Okay, funny that Mr. Beast and Scooter Braun are friends. They've been friends. They've been friends. Scooter Braun helped Mr. Beast. He helped Mr. Beast. He was one of the people that helped me in the beginning. I mean, how did he get to become that big, right? Scooter is a monster. No, he's just as much of a monster as the next executive in Hollywood. If anybody's basis is like, oh, he did this, he did something evil. Every executive in America did something evil. If we go by that, then nobody should be promoting in the US. Then every act should be not be promoting in the US, because every executive in the US has their evils. So, one Scooter sold Ithaca. He was nothing more than an advisor, or he was a CEO, and he did good work as a CEO, as I've said. Um, just always remember that. Like, there's a lot. Oh, he did this. He donated to this, and he donated to that. If that is the basis, if that is the way that we're going to be, that if that is how we're going to measure people, then nobody should be. promoting in the US because every executive in the US, every executive. So, um, it's just yeah, I know it's your opinion. I'm also responding to your opinion. So you should nobody should be promoting here. There's a lot of people that hate Saudi Arabia, the leadership in Saudi Arabia. So should we not promote there? You know, there's a lot of people who hate the president in the Philippines. Should nobody promote there? That's always the question. Like, if that is the basis of it, everybody should just stay home, not do any kind of promotion in another country. It's all business. So, but this rehashing of that issue, it all boils down to that because people are still responding to it. That account actually became they they are gaining interest. They are gaining subscribers because they are they are rage baiting basically. They are using conversational points that they know would make people react to them. So so that is why I always say just ignore and just focus on what matters the most. Okay. So I will post some of the links in Patreon and then you guys can check them out, and if you feel that it is better to just ignore them, then just block them. Okay, next, some more news. Le Seraphim's show has now amassed 350,000 tickets sold. So they are now officially the highest grossing tour for a fourth generation female act. Um, and they also have the highest grossing debut tour in North America. And I think the highest grossing tour for a fourth gen act, fourth highest grossing tour for a fourth gen female act across the board. And then um, highest average tour attendance for fourth gen female act in 2025. So congratulations to Le Seraphim. This does not include their South Korean encore because they have one January 31, I think, and February 1 encore in South Korea. Congratulations to Le Seraphim. I'm super happy for Le Seraphim. I'm super happy too. So this is their attendance. So they have the biggest um, debut tour, highest grossing debut tour, and then highest grossing female tour for 2025, fourth gen. Okay, and then I'm very excited about this. I'm very excited about this. So I love the lore or of Isle It. And there seems to be a crossover, or at least they are teasing a crossover between Enhypen and Isle It. I really love that. This is actually more my jam. Their lore is actually more my jam because I love darkness, I love mystery, and I love manga. And their lore is kind of something like that. Um so I'm very excited if this happens. I might like do some explanation on what the lore is. I'm trying to understand the Enhypen lore a little better. I wasn't really paying attention, but when I saw someone actually forwarded this to me. So when I saw this, I was like, huh, interesting. So let's see what's going to happen. Allegedly, at least from what I am understanding, the lore of Enhypen is very dark. And then the lore of Isle It is it's not dark and it's not light either because they're not from this world. They have two personas, the human persona and then the out of this world persona. So I will be reading a little bit more of this because I just love their lore. And if they actually do a crossover, I'm going to cover a little bit of that. I love a crossover. I've been waiting for hype groups to do that. I know, so I'm excited with this because my so far my favorite lore has been that of Isle It. Now, Bruno Mars is going to release his album, and is going to be on February 27. He confirmed that The Romantic is the next album that he has. It was actually funny when it was unfolding in social media. Um, everyone was asking him to release it on March 20. So they were tweeting and releasing it on March 20. You know why? And then he tweeted that he was going to release it on the 27th. He's Filipino. He's very proud of being Filipino, and I love that he is actually proud of being Filipino. But he's going to release it on the 27th. So the romantic is the title. And I, I know, right? So he said that there is no collaboration. I think it's just all him in this album because he's never had one in the last 10 years. Go ahead if you dare. Um, I think one of the most positive reactions I saw with that, because a lot of people were really tweeting him, telling him release it on March 20, is that there was this one army who responded that we really don't care who's going to be releasing on the same day or the same week or the week after or the week before. Like we're just waiting for BTS to release this. So we couldn't care less about who else is releasing. So I love that response because I think that's a very, very mature response. What other people is going to do, that's their business. Um, so yeah, I love that response. That's why I actually mentioned it because I saw that response from an army that we don't really care. The whole world and their mama can actually release release an album and still wouldn't care. We're just happy that the seven boys are actually back. And then just saw this. It was funny because they said that this was intentional. That Jimin and Jungkook were actually teasing March 20 because their room number was 320. I did not notice that, but there was the one army who noticed this. Like, wow, even the two were actually teasing the release. The number of the room was 320. And then unfortunately for Dior, I guess Jimin did not attend the Dior collection today, or sorry, yesterday. He wasn't there. I think the group is already deep into the preparation, so they probably are limiting their exposure. And also they've been very, very quiet. If you would notice, they've been so quiet the last week. So, and I think that's intentional because it's not like they're not doing anything. They are, I think it was J Hope who kind of liked a tweet or something, a post in social media. And then I think RM changed his PFP on Weverse or something like that. So they are there, they are around. So I think it is intentional that they're just like, no, we're not going to say anything, which was super funny to me because they were whining for like a solid month about not being able to say anything about the comeback. And now it has been revealed and they're not saying anything. So it was just quiet. So I did not actually expect that Jimin was going to attend Dior, but um Cordis did. So they attended. The five kids actually attended. They look super fly. So, but these are my two favorites, Songyeon and James, because I think they just really carry. They just dressed well. So, but what was funny was that there was actually a reporter, and some people were asking me whether or not the he really has a scar on his face, James, because he usually has band-aids. No, he just likes putting them. He doesn't have any scars. He said that he just likes putting them. And he trended because of it. Anyway, there was this reporter who approached them and approached Cordis and asked them, and they gave him a mood board. The reporter actually gave them a mood board. And they were asking Cordis to post the same way. So, and Cordis was like, okay, they were looking at it. And they actually did it. They did it for the reporters. So it was funny. That's them. So that's the reporter. She was telling them. So I guess it's a woman. She was telling them like, can you do this? Like, okay, presented to the five. Can you do this? And they actually did. They did. So James looked more mature in that pic. Wow. Yeah, he looks more mature. So it was just really funny. But they look super good. So yeah, they ended up doing what she was asking them to do. So they were a good sport about it. But my two favorite looks were that of Songyeon and James. There you go. That's my two favorite looks. That's bold for the reporter. They were so nice. Yeah. I guess usually, when you're a new group, and if you ask nicely, I guess the groups are more inclined to actually grant your request. So that's them during the show. That's bold for the report. I had a high school student that used to do that with band-aids. I never got it, but it's a thing. It is a thing, yeah. He trended because of it. He trended in the US because of it. He's very popular here. And then Governor's Ball, I guess it's a big thing. So Stray Kids is going to headline Saturday, and then ASAP Rocky on Sunday, and then Lord on Friday. So they usually put two headliners, but there's only actually one headliner, and then the other one comes before the headline. So for example, for Jenny, she's gonna come before ASAP Rocky. And then Callie is going to come before Stray Kids. But the headliners are Lord, Stray Kids, and ASAP Rocky. So congratulations to them. Okay, James or Martin in the bold outfit. Yeah. Okay. So enough of negativity. Let's go for something positive. Do you have questions before I move on? Do you want to go ticketing? Or do you want to go marketing guide? Let's do this first so that we end with something good with the ticketing. But do you have questions before I proceed? Okay. So that there's a lot, our if there's anything about armies is that we always have, like, by nature, one of the things that made armies popular is the ability to create trends on social media. Can Bang sue the police? Yes, he can. If yes, yes. I don't think he's gonna do that, but let's see. Okay, so Kendrick Lamar, like for example, for the cacao guy, right? He did not sue. He did not sue the police. Okay, so um, we're as a lot of armies are really good in setting trends, creating trends on social media, Facebook, on X, Instagram, and stuff like that. So, and one of the trends that started happening was armies mentioning that there is a rumor that a certain celebrity, is going to collaborate with BTS in the next album. And all of this are not all, but most of this, I'd say 99% of the names that they are dropping, they're actually just made up. They just want to trend it. They want to trend BTS more than the celebrity. So a lot of people are asking me, like, is it a good idea to actually join this trend? Right? Is it a good idea to tweet it, to retweet it, to like, to talk about it? Um, Now, this specific post actually gained traction because J Hope has referred to Kendrick Lamar in many of his previous posts, along with other celebrities and performer or artists like Rihanna. So my answer has been, don't forget to have fun. If you find it fun, just do it. Like, if you see a post that you find funny, if you see someone saying something that you find amusing, then go ahead and retweet, go ahead and um like, because that is actually how we all started. Like, the fandom started connecting because people were having fun in the beginning. Some of you asked me, like, in the 2013, 2014, 2015 era, was it very hard to be an army because of the toxicity and whatever? No, it was actually way easier because most of us were just having fun. We really weren't thinking about what we were doing. So if we find a tweet, a post that was funny, we will repost it, we will comment, we just like it, and then we just have fun. Will always be people that will just not like the trend or whatever, but that doesn't matter. For us, it was really just fun. So my advice has always been: do you find it fun? If you are having fun with it, go ahead. Okay, that's one. Um, Now, just remember that no matter what you say, there will always be someone that will take it out of context, no matter how innocent your post is. Even if you are just saying that, like, for example, if you remark, oh, J Hope looks good, someone is going to go and say, why do you have to pinpoint J Hope? Why not say the entire group looks good? Is that it is that bad? in social media, on Facebook, on X, on Instagram, anywhere, you can say something so innocent and people will take it out of context. So, for example, I posted this and it was just really to have fun. I was just like, why are they not saying anything? I'm not demanding, I'm not complaining that they're not saying anything. I actually find it funny. So that they just suddenly dip, like after months of complaining. Like, look at Weavers, the amount of live streams that we got, them posting on Weaver saying this and saying that, the amount of hints that they were dropping. And then suddenly they have the date and they're so silent. I find it so funny. I really find it funny what they're doing. And I think it is intentional. I don't think that this just happened for like whatever. I think they are doing it intentionally and they're having fun with us. Is that true? I don't know. But the thought is funny to me. I don't think it is harming me mentally. So I'm just running with it. So I posted this. I said BTS dropped hints after hint, whined about not being talked about. Whined about not being able to talk about the release. Then a date was released and they all dipped. Like, are they watching us on social media and just enjoying our chaos? It was funny. Like nothing. I'm not saying that they should come out, right? And some people were responding to it. Some people were retweeting it, saying, "Yeah, I just told my friend about it." Like, "Oh yeah, I think they're like looking at social media every day, so that's why we need to post more so that they know how frantic we are. They're probably enjoying the chaos." Okay, and then one person said this. Okay, I can't see it. So she said, okay, my guess is that they got back into work since the tour is coming up soon. Too many armies are ungrateful and impatient. No matter how much they give you, it's not enough. Why do you need to see them every second of every day? Imagine that reaction for people that are just having fun, right? So someone actually had a sense of humor and responded, "Sense of humor is available in Costco, 3 for $1. You need it badly." So, um, and then the same person who posted the original response said, "Thanks for knowing nothing about me. Let's keep it that way." Obviously, she had no comeback, or he had no comeback. But it was fun. It's funny, right? It's just such an innocent post, which really isn't. Nobody had to respond to my post. It was just something that I said. It's like somebody saying, "Oh shit," you don't have to respond to that. It's just like somebody expressing something mundane. Um, and then the person responded to that person and said, "I wouldn't have it any other way. 3 for 1, absolute bargain." But at least I found this exchange funny. But that is an example of how people can actually twist what you are saying. So if you do post in social media, be prepared for something like that. That no matter how innocent your post is, no matter how well-meaning you are, there will always be some people who probably were dropped at birth or had an unhappy childhood. I don't know. They're just going to twist it and say something bad. So my advice is always, if there is a trend that you're having fun with, go ahead and join. That's fine. That's how we all started. That's how Army started, and that's how we got the name of BTS out there. Because for the most part, our priority was to have fun. Okay, so just have fun. If you feel that there's something funny here, then join. Okay. Now, the other thing is that some people are saying, yeah, but it looks like we're desperate. People are gonna say that we're using other people's name, the bigger celebrities' name to get BTS's name out there. And maybe, people are going to think that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. People have used BTS name every day for the last 10 years to get their idols out. So so what if BTS gets mentioned alongside those artists? But for sure, when that happens, BTS actually gets introduced to a new audience. So apparently when Bruno posted uh his album getting released, there was a fan who posted something about that fandom crashing introduced uh Bruno introduced something to the because Bruno introduced his album. So that fandom is crashing. That's the post. Now, allegedly, that fan was referring to a fandom of another Western artist, not armies. Okay. So, but some armies, I guess, thought that he was referring, or at least people that were claiming to be armies thought that that fan was pointing or referring to BTS. And so he started responding and whatever. And so one fan actually said that Bruno only has 3 albums, and 2 of them have sold more than BTS most solo albums, even though Bruno doesn't have crazy big fandom. That mass buying multiple albums just for the chart, then dumps them, and all his hit songs from those albums are global hits than everyone else. And then another fan responded to them like, "What? Who is BTS?" Like, oh, and then after that, he's like, "Oh, I listened to some of the songs. They're pretty good." So it has a benefit because you have that one fan who actually decided, okay, I'm going to whoever this BTS he is definitely a Bruno Mars fan, but because he heard it from the fandom of Bruno Mars that BTS or the fandom of arm of BTS is complaining, he decided to listen to BTS and he ended up liking 1 or 2 songs. I'll say that's a win. So if some fandoms say you're riding in the coattails of Bruno Mars or Kendrick Lamar or whatever, I say, so who cares? If 1 or 2 of the fans of these artists end up watch or listening to the songs of BTS, that's a win. They've used BTS the same way. Nah, don't care. Just ignore them. Okay. My only issue is when journalists say BP and BTS are the same. This isn't true. So, so I say I'll get to that. Okay, I'll get to that in a bit. Okay, so for example, I was saying that some fans actually have used BTS in the same way. They've used BTS name to highlight their own. Like for example, there is a fan of Zach Tabudlo, which is he is a singer from the Philippines. He joined the live stream of Jungkook. And when Jungkook was asking for suggestions for songs that he could listen to, that fan mentioned the name of this singer's song. Okay. And I guess Jungkook saw it. So live, he searched for the song and ended up liking it. The next day, the singer, Zach Tabudlo, actually posted on social media and he said that he got 3 million hits or something like that, 3 million plays on his streams. So clearly, a fan of Zach used BTS. That's fine. Jungkook enjoyed his song. So if we get the same benefit from other artists, I don't see anything wrong. So just don't listen to them. Okay. Um, I have BTS tunnel vision. Okay, so remember, there is nothing you will say, absolutely nothing you will say that cannot be twisted by the haters. So don't cater to the haters. If you feel that this is fun, you're having fun with it, go ahead and join the trend. Go ahead and like, retweet, comment. It's fine for as long as you have fun. Okay, now if your question is, all right, I will have fun first, but I also don't wanna so but I also want to make sure that um, I will not end up doing something harmful to BTS. Is there like a line? Is there a way for us to determine which trends are good and which trends are bad? Okay. My guide is that I just amplify anything that amplifies or highlights the quality of BTS art is good for me. So if somebody talks about, hey, I really like this lyrics because it resonates with me because she said this, because she said that, okay, go ahead and like. Go ahead and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. For as long as somebody's talking about the art of BTS, that's fine. If somebody makes an edit, like a really good edit in a song or a short, and they're using BTS's song, I don't see anything wrong with that. Go ahead and tweet. Even if the actual edit is about their life or about their dog or about somebody else, if they're using BTS song, that's fine. Okay. So that has always been my minimum. Is this highlighting or amplifying the quality of BTS's art? If it is, great, I'll support it. Okay. Next, if it reaches a new audience. So it's not necessary that BTS gets attached to a name that is more popular than they are. If it is a name that has a different audience than BTS, go ahead and support it. So for example, um, V did jazz, right? Jazz and R&B. If you know any jazz singer or performers or band, you can recommend his song. Tell them, "Hey, what do you think of it? Like, do you think this is good?" Um there's nothing wrong with it. If they end up liking it, then at least one or two of their audience will listen to it. That's a new audience. So that's good. Now, just of course, be open to the possibility that they may not like it, right? So if you recommend to somebody, you also are giving them the right to say something about it. So be careful about that. But introduce them to a new audience, not necessarily to a bigger audience, but to a new audience. Um, Literary critics would be a good guide. Like if you know someone who's like, I don't know, someone who reviews books or someone who reviews like narratives or whatever, you can recommend the songs of BTS or the books of BTS or the highlight reel of BTS. So you can recommend Wayang Yonhwa, Wings, Love Yourself to some of literary critics. So do that. I mean, that's going to highlight their music. That's good. Now, even if they won't end up listening to BTS songs, like for example, they say, no, not interested, that will still be okay because it will still get BTS's name out there, right? Even if they don't end up listening to them. Not everyone likes Coca Cola, but everyone knows Coca Cola. So just getting the name out there, just having people hear the name of BTS, having people understand who BTS is, or just at least be familiar with their name, it's still good. So that's still okay. If you get in touch with somebody and they say, "Yeah, I'm not really interested in BTS," that's okay. For as long as they mention the name, getting the brand out is still good. Okay. Next. Um, Try to think about what will this person be interested in. Like for example, if you are going to get in touch with poets, for example, so maybe give them some of the lyrics and ask them what they think about that. So maybe that will resonate with them. The BTS is some has some of the best lyrics out there. If this person likes beats, maybe you can give them Idol or the Cheetah. Those two have some of the best beats they've ever had. If you saw someone that likes visuals, maybe like give them the Mama MMA 2019 performance. If you don't remember that, that's the dance, the Korean culture centered performance of BTS, where they were given an award. And they have a lot more visual performances. Give them, like, if you come across creative directors, film directors, give them many of their music videos and performances. If they like anime, give them the Seven Fates Chacos. Recommend the Seven Fates Chacos. Okay. Um, but at the end of the day, uh, 2019, that was 2019. When at the end of the day, if you're in doubt, just don't. I guess that's the safest way to go about it. When in doubt, just don't. And stick to the music. That's the safest thing that you can do. Like if you really are not sure and you just don't want to make a mistake, just stick to the music. But at the end of the day, my advice will be just have fun. Um, my basic rule in not supporting anything is when it is not about their music or their art. Like for example, if you start talking about BTS's businesses, that's something personal. I'm interested in their businesses, as you know, especially for the for the members only live stream. I talk about their businesses, but that's something that I will not talk about in like the in open in the pulpit, right? I'm not going to talk about that from the pulpit. If they talk about like their personal lives, that's not just something that I'll get involved in. For as long as it is about their art, anything that goes over that, I'm not going to highlight. But at the end of the day, I know that getting associated with something or someone with less popularity isn't necessarily a bad thing. But the my golden rule, if you ask me to whittle it down to just one rule, I'll say if it is fun, go ahead and do it. They have businesses. Yeah, they have businesses. Let's not talk about that here. Okay. So I hope that was helpful. Um, but let's not get too caught up in like the marketing. Let's just have fun. That's how this fandom was built. That's how we got them to we help. That's how we helped them get to where they are. It's because we were having fun. So let's bring that back into the fandom. There's too much toxicity. Let's just have fun. I am waiting for Heejin to hit the US market. I don't even drink. I don't drink either. Okay. So before I get into the next topic, this is the most fun one because this is about ticketing and hotels. A lot of you were asking for recommendations from hotels from me. Do you have questions? I want Ijin in the US also. I think they're preparing for the expansion. If it brings positivity and more army, great. I agree 100%. Yeah. Okay, so someone was asking about like Korean groups that will be their fans will be mentioning BTS alongside them. That's natural and that's expected. I mean, BTS's influence is too big that it shines a light on many other groups, and they will try to drag BTS name into the conversation of other groups. And yes, I've already explained that the media loves competition because it makes the headlines more salacious. It's always better if there are feuding camps. And because BTS is alone in their kingdom, the tendency is to just pull anybody that they can pull and make it appear as if that is a competition of BTS. So my advice would be to not bite. Just don't support them. Remember that Army as a fandom is still way bigger than all the other fandoms out there. If they do not have our voice, if they don't have our clicks, they're not going to go anywhere. So just don't. Don't engage. Anybody's mentioned something, don't engage. If they are uh, spreading wrong information, get in touch with a content creator, tell them about it, ask them if they can very nicely and politely ask them, can you make something that will correct this misinformation? And the content creator will know about it. Someone that you trust. You need to go to a content creator that you can come to me, but I'm saying if you don't want to come to me, you can come to anyone else. But for as long as the content creator is also doing the right strategy, a lot of content creators would do anything that will give them clicks as well. So make sure that you go to the right person. I love when BTS asks us who else should people look out for, and Suga said BTS. I already saw a South Korean article demanding BTS bring luster back to South Korea. And the same and in the same breath, lament that others haven't reached the same heights. I saw that article and I saw some like army some like reacting to it both negatively and positively, and I say he's not factually wrong. He is factually correct, whoever that artist is. No one has been able to reach the same height. There have been groups that performed really well. I think Twice did well. I think SK Stray Kids did well. I think TXT and Hypin did well. It's just that they never got to the level of BTS, which I think is an unreasonable ask. It is an unreasonable ask. I think it is unfair that these groups are being expected to reach the same height as BTS. You do not expect anybody to reach the same height as the Beatles or Michael Jackson or Whitney Houston. So why are you going to expect them to reach the same height as BTS? I'll say more than BTS, it's this other groups that should be offended, right? But he's factually correct. Like he was accurate. No one has been able to do what BTS has done. It's like if he comes to this chat right now and he asks and say like what is there anything wrong that I said? I said no, you're factually correct. but I also feel that more than BTS fans, it should be the fans of those groups that should be offended. Because why are you expecting anybody to be as successful as BTS? I think, like for example, um, Stray Kids. I do think that they are very successful. Like if you remove, for example, BTS out of the equation, let's just say BTS never existed. Let's just assume that. Imagine the success. Like that's an impressive thing to do. They sold out a stadium tour, right? They have 4 entries to Billboard Hot 100. They have 8 consecutive #1 in Billboard 200. They did a collaboration with Marvel for a song for a movie. It's impressive. It's impressive. It's just that people don't aren't impressed because they want them to reach the same level as BTS. The level that brings in 0.3% contribution to the GDP of South Korea. So, but I don't know why they're not impressed. Um and and others too, like Twice and Hypen, those are very, very successful groups. It's just that people keep on expecting other groups to surpass BTS. You can't. So I feel bad for the group, for the fans of the groups. I think they should be mentioned in their own merit. But, a lot of these reporters want clicks, and the way to get it is they think is to mention BTS. BTS are an entity of their own. Why bother comparing anyone to BTS? And I still don't know them. I only have eyes and ears for BTS. Ticketing, ticketing. Okay, ticketing now. All right. So one person asked me, will US concerts need US membership? That is how they did it with J-Hope and Jin. That was the first time they did it that way. You will need a US membership if you want US tickets. Okay. Now, we don't know if they're going to apply the same rules in this tour. But when it was Jin and J Hope, they asked for a US membership if you are going to buy tickets in the US. The limit to four, the limit to four is per venue based on my experience. Because for Jin and J Hope, I was able to buy four in two different venues. So what I did was I said on Twitter, if you're from another country and you are a real fan of BTS and you can't buy from anybody else, I have no problem using my account. I'll buy the tickets for you. I'll meet you in the venue. So just to make sure that you'll get in. There was somebody from Africa who sent me the money. Right, as soon as I said okay, they just sent me the money, they bought tickets and they came here, so they were able to watch. So I was actually able to buy 4 tickets in 2 different venues. I checked and they were real BTS fans. Like I extensively checked, I wanted to make sure. So the limit to 4 is per venue based on my experience. They could change that, we don't know, but based on the past, you do need US membership in Weverse if you want to watch a US concert. And if you are from the US and you're watching a concert in other countries, you do need global membership. And then the limit to 4 tickets, it's per venue. Those are the two top questions that I asked. For pre-sale, I could only buy 4 tickets in total. I just hope they don't hold back seats during the pre-sale like they did with J-Hope and Jin in the US. That I don't know. I feel like they won't. They probably will want to prioritize. Okay, what I think is going to happen, this is pure speculation. I have absolutely no proof that this is how they're going to do it. I think so. They usually announce the first set of dates, right? So it's probably like, I don't know, probably they'll announce like 30 initially. And then depending on the demand, they're going to announce more. But what I think is going to happen is in the first salvo, the first opening, they're going to open it for members. Because I think based on how they are behaving, their priority are really armies. So they're most likely going to open it to everybody for pre-sale, just for the members. And then open to the general public when they extend, when they add more dates. Maybe that's what's going to happen. Um, I was looking into, so one of the things that they mentioned in the past, BTS mentioned in the past, is the exhaustion that they feel doing a lot of stops. Because they would usually do, I don't know if you remember this, they would do consecutive days in their tours and with heavy choreographies taking a toll in their body. So what I think is going to happen is that they might actually do some Thursdays or Friday and Sunday so that they have a day of rest in between to allow their body to recover. If that happens, it is likely that their tour is going to last for more than a year. I do not think, I don't think that they are going to do less than 60. I think it's going to be more than 60 and above. So that's probably going to go for a year, all the way until 2027 at the very least. Okay. Um, Okay, for VIP. So for VIP, it's not transferable. So if you have a VIP and you transfer it to somebody else, they'll be able to enter, but they won't enjoy the benefits because you need to show your ID. Unless they enter with you, then you will enjoy it. But if it is just you and you don't have them, you're not going to enjoy the benefits. So be careful about buying the VIP tickets. Okay. Fairly, what's your theory on BTS everywhere? It's supposed to be a year-long tour or more, smaller venues. I don't think they will do smaller venues. I definitely think it's going to be stadiums. It's just there are. I think they know the demand, so that's probably stadiums. Yeah, I think it's going to be a longer tour. I will apply to be BTS's tour masseuse. I think it shows on TM the tour is into 2027. I feel getting BTS tickets is going to make the Hunger Games look like elementary school recess. Probably. Okay. Just ask that. Okay, I agree. Just want to say when ticketing pre-sale starts, this will probably sell out fairly quickly. Try not to upset if you didn't get a ticket. Just wait for other armies to sell. New sets opening. Yeah, so whatever anxiety you're feeling right now, I can promise you that during ticketing it's going to be worse. but but don't lose hope. There are people that will resell. There are armies that are going to buy the maximum amount that they can buy, and then they're going to resell. So don't lose hope. Just hold on to it, and you will find your ticket. Do you think a gold membership would mean additional tiers? Probably. Probably. How can US fans get tickets for shows in Korea? Okay, Japan first. So in Japan, this is what I know of what they do. You can only pay the ticket physically in like one of their convenience stores. Some people, some groups do that. They have a they have Weavers, sorry, not Weavers, but Hype Korea, sorry, Hype Japan. So I don't know if that's going to happen, but that's how they usually do it. That's why it's hardest to get a ticket in Japan. For South Korea, Interpark is what they used. We don't know. So all of this, everything that I'm telling you is just based on experience. They might change it. They've purchased a lot of companies. So I still believe that um what's that 360 is going to do like a special promo, like a special package to some armies. They're going to offer it. So they might like, for 5,000 you get this. I don't know, something like that. So, but that's their specialty, providing premium experience to some of the events. And and Hybe actually bought it. So we don't even know if they're going to partner with Ticketmaster. I think they're going to partner with Ticketmaster just because Ticketmaster is the biggest. So when do you think they will start album promotions? Some start shortly before release, right after to the little. Yeah, I think so. Yes, I think they're going to start like a week or two after the album release. I think the when the album so when the album drops, that's when. Okay, I think after the pre-sale, they'll release the schedule of the promotions. That's just a guess. I do think that their absence right now is because they're so busy with promotions. I think when they make an appearance, it's just going to be like new hair color, How much will resale tickets go for? Oh my gosh. So the last Love Yourself ticket, the most expensive was 18,000. Don't do that. Well, unless you're a millionaire. Okay. Lorena, Fairlane, way to calm the streamers today. I'm honest though. Whatever anxiety you're feeling is going to be worse than the day itself. A lot of people have actually that device that they use to just click enter, 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 enter during like when you queue. So for example, ticketing opens at 3 p.m., right? Queuing opens at 3 p.m. Like at 2:55, there are some people that have that device that just click and click and click and click. Like it's so fast, you can't compete unless you're really lucky. So my membership says global US. Is that right? Yes. So for as long as it says US. Okay, so hotel reservations. I'm going to sleep horribly tonight. Now you know how we felt, huh? We have been feeling this. I've been feeling this since 2015. So welcome to the club. Okay. So 18K, I could get a roof and air. All right. You're not calm. Okay, hotel reservations. So what I usually do, I've said this before, is that as soon as the dates are announced, whatever city or country I am targeting, I'm going to book a hotel. So my advice is that um have a target in mind. So, for example, I think Wembley is a given. I think Allegiant is a given. This is just my. They could surprise us for all we know. I think Allegiant is a given. I think Wembley, uh, maybe MetLife, whatever. So all of those are givens. Already check the hotels around it, and then bookmark it already. Register on those hotels or however it is that you like doing your booking. I usually book straight to the hotel. So register, put in your credit card, and as soon as it is announced, book. Many of these hotels, they're non-refundable. Yeah, SoFi, I think is a given. So many of these hotels are refundable for as long as you cancel like a month or not a month, like 3 days before. If you cancel 3 days before, it is fully refundable. So just check that, book, and then wait for ticketing. If you get the tickets, then you're good to go. So that's what I usually do. Whatever my target is, I already check for the hotels and I book. Off I go. Now, some armies actually book 2 to 3 rooms of that hotel. And then they just offer it. Like anybody here needs a hotel. I have 2 rooms. Okay. And then they do the coordination because it's refundable anyway. And they won't charge your card until like 2 days before the actual reservation. So you might want to do that if you want to help other armies. That's one thing. So, for example, for Wembley, Hilton and Novotel are the closest. They said it's 5 to 2. Well, for Hilton London, they said it's 2 to 3 minutes walk, and it's very close. And they said because it's close, it's safer. So you might want to bookmark that. If you're already registered in Hilton, great. If not, try to register. Novotel, they said because I haven't been there. So Novotel is another one. It's 5 minutes, and then it's great for longer stays. So if you're going to be staying in London for a week, if you're going there, might as well do a tour, then go ahead and book already. But those are the two that are closest: Hilton London and Novotel. And then the other one is Ibis or Ibis or Ibis. I don't know how you guys pronounce it. So it's 5 to 7 minutes, budget friendly. They said. Um, I looked at the reviews; they're not bad. So you might want to bookmark there as well, or register. Might as well register. And then Park Plaza, which is about 10 minutes via the tube. They said. So it's a little upscale, so way more expensive, but it's still value compared to others. So I won't use Hilton. Um, from Cali, I don't remember off the top of my head, but Stray Kids and Coldplay played there this past summer. So Coldplay did 10 shows in Wembley, but they didn't do others, I think, in Europe. That was like their only venue. They did 10 shows, and that's a record for them. Stray Kids, no, they did not do Wembley, I do not think. Yeah, we walked to Soldier Field for Bon Jovi, stayed in the Palmer House. Okay, so that is for Wembley. So you might wanna register to the actual hotel already if you book directly. I prefer booking directly. And I used to do like Expedia or whatever, but I had this experience in Expedia when I went there because I did not book directly in to the hotel. They deprioritized me, which pissed me off. So I thought I'm not going to use a third party ever again. And what's better, farther hotels and pay for parking. Hotels closer to the venues are expensive. I usually prefer to go as close as I can to the venue. If I can walk to the venue, the better. Primarily because I absolutely abhor traffic, which makes it even more impressive because I survived LA. But I absolutely abhor traffic. I prefer to walk if I can because for me, I can manage my time better if I'm walking. Because remember, when I go to these places, my priority is the concert. Everything else is a by the way. Those are not my priority. Like tours are not my priority. Going to lunches to this and checking out this hotel and sorry, this restaurant or whatever. That's not my priority is the concert. So my goal is to always to get to the venue as soon as I can or when I can, and walking is always better. So I prefer to book something as close as I could to the hotel. That's for me. Okay. And then Holiday Inn, they said is 15 minutes, reliable. It's Holiday Inn. Um, there's not a lot of frills, not a lot of comfort, but still, in terms of pricing, they're good. Hampton by Hilton is also another one, and they said it's also 15 minutes. So those are your options for Wembley here. So mm, okay. So you have Hilton, Novotel, Ibis or Ibis, Park Plaza, Holiday Inn, and Hampton by Hilton. Those are your options if you want to get as close as possible to the venue. Traffic around San Francisco is an absolute nightmare. So is LA. Okay. And then Premier Inn. Sorry. So if we go, oh, here are more. Sorry. These are more options. So Premier Inn and Bridge Hotel. Those are two more that you can check. So my target would be the ones that are closest. It's crazy for NE of US Northeast. What's NE? Close to 100 now. Okay. They canceled the Mott's tour because of COVID. They did. Yes. And then for Allegiant, okay. So there are, if you look at that venue, that hotel, those two hotels there, that's Mandalay Bay. And then Luxor is the one beside it. So those are the two that are closest. There's actually Four Seasons there, very close to here. That is also very close, but it's very, very expensive. But those are the ones that are closest to the venue. So you just really just cross the street and you're there in the venue. Okay, so Mandalay Bay, about 10 minutes walk, and then Luxor about 15 minutes. So Luxor is definitely way cheaper. But if you want to get closer, Mandalay. But I think for the price and for the distance between the two, I think Luxor is good enough. Someone actually booked Luxor already, like estimated the day they're going to be there. And then Excalibur is also it's not, I mean, it's beside them. So about 20-25 minutes. If you don't mind walking, you can also book there. And as I've said, Four Seasons. So you can try those. And then it does not appear, but if you look at the map, Stay Bridge, Holiday Inn Express, and Residence Inn, they're also very close. So it's on the other side if you want to check those out. So register on those hotels so that when they announce the date, you can book your hotel. Okay. What is the hotel connected to Allegiant? I will get the name. It's that's where I was checked in. A client checked me in for that. I will get the name. I will remember that hotel. It's actually not listed, but it's kind of exclusive. But the only reason I was able to afford it was because it was paid for by the client. Um, so I will get you the name. Okay. Is MGM, is it MGM Delano? Ah, yes. Yes. All right. Let me search that. Yes. It was so funny because I had a hard time finding the actual hotel. So I drove to Vegas. I usually drive when I'm actually going to Vegas. So here you go. Here you go. You can actually, it's connected to MGM. Here you go. Here you go. I'll share it with you. MGM Delano. Here you go. There. Delano Hotel. My dog had a wonderful time in our room. It was so spacious. Yeah, Delano Hotel. There you go. Oh, are you seeing it? Yeah. MGM Delano. That's the hotel. It's connected to when you go down, just turn. You do have to go out of the hotel, but you kind of just, if you go to through the back, you kind of turn right and you're right there. It's very expensive. Okay. Um, where was I? I hope you're already having anxiety planning this. I love the Luxor. The Luxor is not bad. And I mean in Vegas, like a 20-minute walk is nothing, right? 20-minute walk, that's fine. Okay, so for Seoul Olympic, um so if Delano is also connected to the Four Seasons, correct? Those are like they're connected to each other. So for my plan is to still try and get a ticket for the kickoff in um in Seoul, right? Because that for sure that's where they're going to be doing the kickoff. I want to get that ticket, and I still want to do all the tours that I have in mind. And if some people are going to join me, do the like the BTS tour, I still want to do that. I just know that it's going to be very very difficult to get, but I will try. I will definitely try for Seoul. I want to do the very first. So these are the three must for me. Well, four actually. So I want to do the kickoff in Seoul. I want to do either Allegiant or SoFi, and then I want to do Wembley, and I want to do their closing, which is probably going to be an encore also in Seoul. Those are the four concerts that I want to attend. So for the kickoff, I definitely am going to try. Okay. Credit card anxiety and a dream. That's all you have. That should be this should be the tagline of all armies. This is all armies have right now. Credit card, anxiety, and a dream. That's a good tagline, Wanda. Okay, so for the South Korea Seoul venue, the thing about South Korea is that all the concert venues are so well connected to their train stations. Now, there's going to be a lot of people, but the one thing that is good about Seoul is that they are aware of these things. So when there is a concert, they extend the operation time, they deploy extra people, extra police to make sure that everything is organized, that no one is pushing somebody or getting hurt and not getting attended to or stuff like that. So for me, it is there I'm less anxious with Seoul because I've been there so many times. I kind of know how it works. So I say don't worry much about Seoul because as I've said, the venues are connected to the train stations. So no matter where you are, and for as long as you can get to the train station for as long as your hotel is close at the very least to the train station stop, then you're good, even if it's not close to the venue. Okay, so the closest, however, is Lotte. So it's about 15 minutes, and it is connected to the mall. And the train, it's like there's a lot of it's going to connect you. It's like the different connections to different destinations. That's very good. So Lotte is your target if you want something really convenient. And then there's Hotel Lake. It's about 10 to 15 minutes. It's boutique, but really good view of the lake. And usually the rooms are the entire service is actually designed always for two people, but you can check it out. There's not a lot of rooms in the hotel, but yeah. Okay. And then Faris Hotel, which is about 15 to 20 minutes. It's very clean. All the hotels in South Korea, they're very clean. Even the ones that are very cheap, they're still clean, which is my primary concern always. The Rosanna Hotel is about 5 minutes by taxi, and it's one subway stop. And then the rooms are spacious. There, if it's group, it's great for group stays, for longer group stays. The Light Hotel is also good. It's about 10 minutes, affordable, very clean, budget friendly. Um, the hotel the designers Jamshil, I've never been there. I mean, I've never checked in there, but some of my friends have, and they said it's also very good, very modern. But and fans actually do a lot of events there. Fairlane is sole ticketing available in English. Yes, you just set your browser to English. Yes, yes, it is. Mhm. Seoul Olympic Stadium is currently being renovated and won't be ready for use until early 2027. BTS may be performing closing show in early 2027 in Olympic Stadium. Is Spycam still a thing over there? Spycam, yes. Yes, you mean in hotel rooms? I mean in Airbnb? Do you have your device? There is a device that you can carry to shut it down. I'll post it in Patreon. Okay. And then Songpa Guest House. This is like very cheap. It's cheaper, but lesser rooms. And then ideal for solo travelers because the rooms are very, very small. Okay. And then the Jamshil Stay Hotel. Good for one night stays. Like if you're just there for a concert, you're staying for a night, this is good for you. They designed the hotel for this, but there's not a lot of stuff that you can find there. So bring everything basically. It's really for budget. Um Nicole Fairlane, thank you for keeping me occupied while I wait for A to tow my car. I have super flat busted tire and I just realized I don't have a spare. Oh, well, great that you have a Seoul Olympic Stadium stay tips. Oh, okay. So the Jamshil Hotel sells super fast. So these are for the one night stays. They sell super fast. So if you want, you can immediately buy something there as soon as the announcement is made. Subway lines 2 and 8 make nearby neighborhood easy alternatives. So just keep that in mind. If you are checking in a hotel, make sure that it is close to subway lines 2 and 8. And then do expect surge prices when it on the day of the concert itself and on weekends. And then walking back after the show, and we've done this, is way faster than taxis and also the subways. So in all the years that I've been attending a concert there, we always prefer just walking or taking the subway. But taxis, Uber, they're not great. So I would say just get ready to walk. Even if you're taking the subway, you still need to be ready to walk because it's quite a probably about 15 minutes from the exit to the subway entrance, to the subway entrance. So for those of you who haven't been to South Korea, there are a lot of subway stations that do not have that don't have elevators and escalators. So there are still a lot of subway stations where you're gonna have to take a stairs, like 3 floors. And that's why a lot of Koreans live super long. 'Cause they're super healthy. 'Cause they're forced to walk. So those are my tips. As soon as you go, you know the venues of the places that you want to watch the concert in, book a hotel. If you can, book 2 rooms, one for you and one more extra, Just make sure it is refundable and just offer it to other people. They won't charge you anyway, unless it's until the day off. Usually about 3 days before, 2 days before. That's when it becomes non-refundable. So just make sure that you have it, and that's what I plan to do. So you know the things that I want. I want the kickoff in Seoul. I want either Allegiant or SoFi. If I can buy a ticket to both, I will. And then Wembley, and then the closing, the encore, which is probably again in Seoul. That's the plan. They have questions. Make sure to get the Fast Track app for your concert experience of the venue you will be attending. Correct. Army, let's take care of each other. Yes, let's take care of each other. I will do whatever I can. I do have if I ever make it to Seoul, I will do another live stream for all the detailed explanation on the things that I think will help you, like the apps that you need to download. You know, you do need the if you're going to take the subway, you do need the T money that they have, which you can use as a debit card. Getting SIM in Korea, their internet is super fast. Getting SIMs, just getting used to the subway, getting used to Naver Map. Naver Map is what you will do there. Use their yeah, Naver Map instead of Google Map. So, and just the places for you to go. The good thing about South Korea is that even the food in convenience store, they're already good, so you don't have to worry so much about food. You know, if you're in a budget, and we all are, so like the convenient food in convenience stores, they're so good. So you're stressed. I'm stressed already. My first group concert. Don't worry. There's more stress to come. Okay. So again, the if you are a member of if you want to join Patreon, there is a free tier. It's just that you will see limited things, but you can still participate in at least one channel. And then for all the members of Patreon, please go to Discord. Let's test it. Let's see if it's good. And then let's wish each other good luck. I do have a free I do have a members only live stream this Friday. So I will see you then. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. I hope that I was able to wipe away the negative part of the live stream with all the excitement of the concert in the second half. Okay. All right. Thank you. Good luck, everybody. Bye.